Hey everybody, Dylan Distraction here, coming to you live from Batlantic Studios. Thought I'd do a quick back to drawing board talk about comic book shorts on my drawing table. Nuke Force on Kickstarter right now. Check out the link, Nuke Force on Kickstarter. Thrilled to have that campaign ready to go. I really appreciate everybody supporting my work, backing Nuke Force, helping us hit goal. I love these characters. I love this series. I'm thrilled to have this ready to go. I just need your help to get the comic book funded. So go to Kickstarter, check out the Nuke Force campaign. Please grab a reward level and help us hit goals. So I've been going through and drawing these sequential pages. So page 1, page 2, page, what comes after 2? Page 3, not, it's a third of the way done. Page 4 is the splash, the character. So I wanted to show what it would look like once it's inked digitally and then digitally colored. So you can compare. So this is, I roughed this out and then went through and did pencils. So we have exterior setup shot, storm, lightning bolt, city, Nuke Force Tower on an island. And so here we have again, this has just been digitally inked. Nuke Force Tower changed a little bit. Some things change as I digitally ink. Made the lightning bolt kind of further away. Put a moon in there. Clouds pretty similar. Cityscape pretty similar. NF on the Nuke Force Tower. Then we have cut 2 inside. We have Major Grit, Mr. Malta walking, talking about what they're trying to do. And then Major Grit, shot of him. And then the containment warhead with Major Grit, Mr. Malto looking up at it, framed in silhouette. Had some kind of pukey looking green colors there, nuclear waste, the power of toxic energy. So I wanted to show what the pencils look like once they're inked digitally and then colored, and then I just printed it out. So it's got a little bit of a paper texture to it. It's got a little bit of grit to it. I'm happy with how this page looks. It's got, my kind of Jack Kirby-ish sort of gibberish technology on the walls that you can tell they're in sort of a scientific, inside the Nuke Force Tower has this sort of energy about it. And then this kind of brings you up and out to the next page. So I want to show the compare and contrast between traditional pencils and then digital inks and digital color. I like that hybrid technique. I think that's really fun. It enables, because if I'm drawing on an iPad and I'm inking digitally, it's less interesting, I think, for people to watch that. I think people would rather watch me drawing traditionally. I think it's more fun to watch people draw traditionally, but I don't know. So I'm going to do that technique with this one. So this one will be the next one you'll see, digitally inked, digitally colored. I could do a speed drawing of that too. I might show that, have that available for people in case they want to see what a speed drawing of the inking and the coloring looks like. So that's page 2. So then they go up to the containment warhead. They see cut 2 interior of the chimp, of the space monkey, he's all hooked up to tubes, floating in like green goo. They talk with each other. Major Grit says, yeah, we have to experiment on this monkey. It enables us to be able to try some things to hopefully reverse your what has happened to you. And then he goes over, touches a button, and cranks it up. And then suddenly, lightning strikes. All right, boom, and then explodes. And then we get into the drawing of this. So thought I'd do a little bit of drawing of this quick here. And talk about the campaign. Thank you so much to everybody. So 25 backers, 25 followers, pardon me. And the campaign launches. And I'm recording some of these videos ahead of time. So campaign should be live on Kickstarter right now. I'm hoping we hit 25 followers pretty quickly. But as of this recording, it's still early on in the campaign. So go right now to Kickstarter. If the campaign is live, back it. I'm pretty sure it is, but I'm not sure exactly when I'm going to launch because I wanted to wait until I hit 25 backers. Now, the reason why is I want people to know about it. And I know that people know about it when I've seen that the followers count has increased. So if I say, hey, we launched, and people are like, oh, I didn't know it was happening, I'd be like, oh man, at least now I know there's 25 people that are at least aware that I've got a campaign. So that's the reasoning behind launching at a certain follower number as opposed to a certain time. I don't know. I just trying it something different. Usually I pick like the first of the month or a specific day of the week to launch. I didn't do that for this one. And yeah, the thinking is that it's just a different way of doing it. Again, if I launch on a certain day, sometimes it doesn't give me enough time to prep or prepare. Sometimes you have too much time to prep and prepare. Like I've been talking about Nuke Force now for what feels like a year. So hopefully people are aware that I'm running a campaign or that I'm interested in running a campaign, because I've been talking about it for a while. So, and hopefully people like it. Hopefully people are excited about Nuke Force. I'm thrilled to be making this book. Super psyched to have these characters ready to go. Definitely a dream come true to be able to work on this series. Incredibly passionate about it. So hopefully everybody else gets a kick out of it and likes it and wants to support it. That would be my hope. So we'll see what happens. A little nervous. Anytime you're having to put your work out there, it's always a little stressful to have people reject or like, right? It's like I give opportunities. Like oftentimes when I'm doing this stuff, I am just doing it, on my own independently, and then people like or don't like it. It doesn't really affect me because I'm, regardless of their enjoyment or disdain for my projects, it doesn't really influence the creative process of making. But once you get into the requesting that people support it, that's when you're like, oh yeah, no, now it matters if people appreciate or enjoy or like or want what I'm doing. And if they don't, it's disappointing, because it's like, oh, I like this and want this. I would hope other people would like this and want this. If someone else was doing something like this, I'd be into it. So if you were running a campaign right now and you're like, oh, I love, classic comic books, I'd be like, whoa, that's exactly what I'm into. I would like to support you and your work, because that's stuff I love. Or if you're like, oh, I love 90s comics, this is my 90s comics, I'd be like, yes, that's awesome, let's do it. Or any era. There's so many great eras right now. I've been looking at, Golden Age stuff, and really digging that, but there's so much great stuff and from so many decades. And there's even some good stuff right now. So obviously I've been talking about how much I like the Absolute Universe. That stuff's been really, really fun. What is some other good stuff that's been coming out lately? I think Dynamite is doing really well with their licensed stuff. I haven't been reading much of it, but it looks like it looks really cool. Obviously Skybound, crushing it with their Transformers and G.I. Joe stuff. That stuff looks great too. So a lot of really good stuff out right now. I didn't do anything for Free Comic Book Day. I hope if you did or went anywhere or did anything, that you had an awesome time doing whatever you were doing. But I just didn't have the opportunity to go anywhere. I've done them before. I've done Free Comic Book Days. Jetpack does a great one. Double Midnight does a great one. Hopefully everybody got out and supported their comic book store. But I support the comic book store all the time. I'm always at a comic book store. Not always. I'm often at a comic book store. So this idea of just going on a day when they're going to give away a book, it's like, I don't need that for me, because I go all the time anyway. It's not like I have to just go once a year. I like going, pretty consistently. So it's less of a draw for me, but I get why people like it for sure. I've enjoyed it. I like to go and see creators. That was always the thing I really dug about it. All right, so here I am putting in some more lines. Lots of lines. The thing about drawing comic books, a lot of lines. I draw these lines. Let's put this one up here. This is going to be the last one. So I want to get all these pages done so that I can have them to give away, or not give away, but to offer as rewards in the campaign, right? So it's like, what would be the point of drawing them traditionally like this? Obviously, I could do it all digitally. I've done it all digitally before. What would be the incentive to drawing things traditionally like this? Well, you could give them away during the campaign, right? So if you're like, oh, I love those Nuke Force pages you did on your YouTube channel, anyway, I could get one of those. I'd be like, yes, you can. back the original art reward level, and I will send you the Nuke Force page you request. So if you're like, oh, I'd really love page, what is this one? Page 3. Great, page 3. Here it is. And I'll even include a printout with it. So you can have the digital color one. You can frame them, hang them up, and frame them together. So I hope everybody's having a great day, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. And thank you so much for checking out Nuke Force, back in the campaign. I hope that at this point we've crushed goal and we're moving on to stretch goals, but I am pre-recording this, so I don't know exactly where the campaign is currently. Hopefully it's launched, but I guess we'll find out. You tell me in the comments below, when you watch this, what were we at with the campaign? Did we crush goals and go on to stretch goals? What reward tier did you back? Let me know in the comments. This is a weird looking face. I don't ever usually draw faces like this. So this one, if you want to watch Professor Andrews struggle with how to draw, this is going to be an interesting one. I've given this an angle that I'm not terribly comfortable with. That's good. That's where the growth happens. Thing about Major Grit, there's a lot of chin. A big chin. Once I get in ink this, I'll be able to move things around. If there's things I'm unhappy with. So I just got to block in where I think it's going to be. Yeah, I can do like that. That center line. Eyes out to the corners of the mouth. Like that. Perfect. Monkey looks appropriately worried about the giant explosion that just occurred. What's some other cool stuff that I'm into lately? New Youngblood, Rob Liefeld. Got the new old Youngblood, so bringing back the blood. I'm excited about that. I could show those off. I got my chromed out copy in the mail. I think it's over there somewhere. Just got my package. Also getting a lot of classic Marvel stuff. Really enjoying classic Sal Buscema, John Buscema. So, all right, let's get some of that. I like to show off comic books every time I do one of these videos. I like to show off new stuff I've gotten. So let's show off some new comic books. This one, this one, this one. Yeah, let's show off these. So here's some stuff I'm really enjoying. Speaking of comic books, here is, ooh, Robert Liefeld's Youngblood Deluxe. I have the hardcover of this with these colors, this new remastered version. But I wanted to have the individual issues too. And it's gone back to a second printing. So pretty cool. Great paper stock. That's the one thing I would say. A lot of modern comics these days, they skimp on the paper. This is deluxe. Only $4. That's really not that bad. Yeah, so I have the version. So they re-released this a few years ago with Joe Casey doing the scripting, Rob Liefeld, obviously, creator, story, and art. They redid this digitally. Colors, Matt Yaki did a great job with these colors. I really like the colors on this. And they re-released this as a hardcover a few years ago, and I have it. But it's cool to have it in individual issues. I mean, it's just such a great book. Of course, I love the classic original version of it on like the different paper stock, and I'm gonna definitely be getting this artist edition for sure. Youngblood, so great. So I highly suggest everyone, if you can, find a copy, get a couple copies of this thing. So there it is, chromed out, which I love. I love chrome covers, so good. And only $6 for the chrome, so it's not bad. So highly suggest everybody run out right now, grab yourself some Youngblood. Great book. Thrilled to add those to the collection and be inspired by them. Love Rob Liefeld's work. And really fun podcast too, talking about the comic book industry. Always interesting to hear people's perspectives and opinions on things. Yeah. So, and he's definitely got a lot of history and opinions and perspective because he's been working for decades at this point. So always really fascinating to hear somebody who's lived it and been in the trenches. Obviously, everybody's experience is different, but, you know, like it's valuable to hear what his perspective is, especially because he doesn't have a filter. He doesn't have to worry about stepping on toes or anything. So I think it's always interesting to get that sort of player perspective once they're retired, or, you know, not retired, but aren't playing for the team anymore. Because when they're on the team, they can't really tell you what they really think. They have to kind of give those media answers. Like, oh, you know, we just didn't have our A game today and blah, blah, blah. But then once they're done with the game, you get the Michael Jordan last dance. And you're like, oh, okay, that's how it went. All right. Gotcha. So I think Rob Liefeld's in his Michael Jordan last dance phase, where he's able to just kind of tell you what's going on, or at least what he thinks is going on, or what he sees, or what he knows is going on. So pretty interesting. All right, so again, you can see when I'm doing my pencils, they're rough, they're loose. They're really just a guide for me so that I know where I'm going. I like to make sure I got all the structural stuff in place, but I know I'm going to be going back over it again. And I think that's the thing, is when you're your own inker, you're like, yeah, I'm just blocking this in because I know it's going to have to be redrawn again. This isn't the final line work. So don't fall in love with any of these marks, because they're all going to go away. So, you know, don't obsess over any of this too much, because you can, of course, flip it over and look at it in reverse. Of course, I did it upside down on that one, but that's not going to work. But don't fall in love with it, because it's not going to stick around. And the only reason I even would do this traditionally again is so I could have something to offer in the Kickstarter campaign. Go right now. Kickstarter. Nuke Force on Kickstarter. Check it out. Support independent creators. Support comic book creators. Make awesome stuff. Share your awesome stuff with the world. Sit back and enjoy. Fill your life with things you love and enjoy. And I'm going to keep trying to do these YouTube videos and Instagram reels and all that stuff while the campaign's going on. I think it's pretty much the only way I have of telling people about my work. So if I want people to know that I'm working on comic books, I have to share it on social media. I wish there was another way, but there is not. So if you're like, geez, he seems like he's on social media an awful lot lately. Well, it's because I'm trying to tell people about a Kickstarter campaign. Believe me, once the Kickstarter campaign's over, I'll just go back to occasionally posting works in progress for the production cycle, but that's a tangent. That's what you call a tangent, kids. There you go. That's a less of a tangent. So they're going to be all covered. So Mr. Malto and Major Grit are going to be all covered in goo from the containment unit that blew up in their faces because of the lightning bolt. You know how it is. Toxic waste these days, just going everywhere. Toxic waste just smooching everybody, smooshing them, scooching them. Oopsie doozy. Got a little bit of an oopsie doozy, as Shark Boy would say. All right, so that makes sense. Mr. Molotov, Major Grit. And then I got more goop, goo here, debris. They blew up, some junk around them, wires hanging down. Maybe there's some wires over here, a couple of things hanging over here. Maybe, I don't know, something like that. Cool. Cool. What else? This hair is black. Probably should black that in. I don't think I'd forget that, but make sure I indicate to the inker that this is all black. Oh, wait, I am the inker. All right, that panel looks pretty good. So I got smoke coming through. Mr. Malta, Major Grit, looking at the explosion, blew up in their faces. This is all just setup. These 4 pages are just set up to bring the reader in and be like, all right, here's where we're at with this. And then the next 4 pages will be action. He's worried. Mr. Malta's like, uh-oh. Something moving in the debris. What could it be? Maybe it's a giant radioactive gorilla ape. Oh, no. That's the thing, too, is if you draw something 4 or 5 times, so I roughed it in my sketchbook, scanned it, blew it up, printed it out. So I have the rough version of my sketchbook. That's 1 time. 1 time. And then I have the printout drawing here. Pencil. That's 2 times. And then the 3rd time is digitally inking it. And each time what you hope for is that it just improves a little bit. All right? A little bit more of the decision making is done. A little bit more of the figure work is nailed down. A little bit more of whatever. So that by the time it goes to print, you're like, well, I can't even look at it anymore. I've already drawn it 4 times. There you go. Looks like a 3-fingered guy pointing. How would that look? Maybe like that. And I might make that thumb bigger. This is a hard one to reference because he's only got 3 fingers. So it's his thumb. Got it. His wrist. It's his knuckles. Yeah. Fingertip. That looks right. Looks good to me. Pointing. Sure. A little odd looking, but once I ink it, it should look less odd, hopefully. Guess we'll find out when we ink it. Yeah, we'll say that's good. If it didn't look weird, it wouldn't look like a comic book. Yeah, my ruler. So thank you everybody so much for checking out the Kickstarter campaign. I appreciate all of you. And again, if you want any of these original drawings that I'm working on right now, back the Kickstarter campaign for the original art level, you'll get the original drawing and you'll also get a printout like this with, I'll like sign it and stuff. So you'll have the original and you can frame it like that, put it together on the wall. Hand-drawn original pencil drawing over scanned sketchbook roughs. You got the blue line underdrawing. You can see all my perspective line stuff. And then you'll have a digital printout of my digital inks, digital colors. So best of both worlds, I think this is a pretty cool reward level. So grab these right now in the Kickstarter campaign. Appreciate everybody backing my work, sharing my work, supporting my work. Means the world to me. Nuke Force on Kickstarter. Okay, thanks. Bye.